What's up, guys? So I got that second review here for you, the second video I was going to talk about. Xandria just released a music video for We Are Murderers, We All, featuring Bjorn from Soilwork. And I like Soilwork, very nice. I like them from Ride Majestic back. And unfortunately, Dirk's not with them anymore, but they released a music video for not the music video, the lyric video, sorry, for We Are Murderers today. And with a title like that, you knew it was going to be intense, and you really kind of know what this song's going to be about and what was going on. And the lyric video was very intense and very emotionally heavy. You know, it just starts off with, these little voice clips of people talking, and then you hear the drums just, start this really kind of like pounding, kind of sinister sounding, just rhythm, and then the choir comes in, and the intensity just amps up. The minute the song starts, you realize that the mood has been set already extremely well. Just everything just sounds very intense and very dark and very sinister. And then when the guitar and everything else comes in, just blisteringly fast, and then everything kind of drops out and it's just the guitar, and then the guitar comes back in, and then everything else comes back in, and the music starts to flow, and then the lyrics start. Just from the beginning, you can tell it's going to be intense and just very serious. There weren't going to be any kind of soft parts or anything, any kind of feeling of jovial or happy. It was just not going to happen. You knew that from the beginning. And the lyrics were just very truthful and very profound. The first verse talks about how, we do anything we want, and we feel like we can do anything we want as long as we go to confession and, confess and beg to be forgive for it later. We feel like, even if you're not religious, like if you do wrong and then you apologize for it later, that makes it okay. That we go through life thinking that that's okay, and we do that a lot, and it's not the case. And then the second verse talks about how we have a fence around our eyes because we get what we want, and we choose to just revel in that thing and be happy. But there's so much stuff going on around us, so much terrible, negative stuff going on around us, but we choose to be blind to it, and we choose to be ignorant of it, and how that's destroying, us, saying that we are murderers because we're doing this, not only hurting ourselves, but doing this, we're also hurting everyone around us, and we're also destroying the earth, destroying the planet, we're angels in a burning world, and it was just really interesting song. It was very, I watched a lyric video, and it was just very intense, and I wouldn't say scary, but in a way it was just very frightening, and not the kind of, like horror movie, frightening. It was just very psychologically, because the way the song is made, it just sounds extremely dark and extremely intense. And then along with the video clips that they were playing, they had video clips of wars and people and surgical masks, like starving children, just blood filling the screen, and just the way they presented this lyric video was very intense and very dark. And I mean, if it isn't your kind of thing, probably disturb you a little bit, but it's just very intense and just kind of like psychologically frightening, and really made you think about not only the selfishness of humankind, but the willingness to do evil to others and to yourself, and the, I guess, audacity to think that it's okay to do evil as long as you repent or ask for forgiveness later. And that's not how it's supposed to work. And the song really brought that to a attention. And of course, like being ignorant of all the bad things, that go on around you, and just reveling in that one thing that makes you happy, that one thing that brings you joy. Like, there's nothing wrong with being happy and, enjoying your life and having good things, but I believe in the balance of chaos and order, and I believe that there must be good and there also be bad. So it was just very, very, very nice, very intense. And Bjorn's vocals came in at the right time. He didn't, sing a whole verse or anything like that, but when his vocals came in, they came in where they were needed, where they would make the most impact, both vocally and musically and just emotionally. Because, Diane does a great job. She's excellent singing, classically trained. And her, like, the choir just by themselves sounded very, very impactful and intense enough. And then her vocals came in, and then under all that, Bjorn's vocals also came under at certain times, and it just really kind of just kicked it up a notch. It was very intense and very powerful. But when Bjorn's vocals came in, it just kind of highlighted just the darkness and the intensity and kind of the evil of the subject matter of the song. And I really think that was very well utilized. They used his vocals in a very, very effective way. They didn't overuse it and they didn't underuse it. Like, they used it at the perfect moments where they knew it would make the biggest impact, both in the music and just, in your soul and your mind when you're really thinking about these lyrics. Because even the lyrics, the way that they're sung, it kind of sounds like, even the way they're sung, the way they're delivered just sounds really intense, and it almost sounds like, genuine disgust and disturbed, genuine disgust and just being disturbed. It's like they just put these lyrics down, and she was like, "Oh, this is terrible," and you really kind of got that from, the vocal delivery. And it was just, the whole song was very, very well put together. I was very, very surprised, because I didn't start listening to Xandria really until this year, when the music video for Nightfall popped up on my recommended videos, and I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome." It's even got the Phoenix in it. I love mythology, so that's great. And, the whole, just everything about it was just really cool. So I was like, okay, this is a really cool band. And then, they released this song, and I'm like, wow, this is extremely dark and very, very intense and just very psychologically disturbing and a little frightening even. And it's just, and that makes you know it's like a really well put together song. It's a really excellent song. It's just extremely, extremely well done. The intensity isn't overdone to the point where you're like, okay, they're just being, like, it's just evil for the sake of being evil, and, the song is only, like, intense for the sake of being intense. It never felt like that. It was just felt really, truly honest, and it's extremely thought-provoking. You can definitely tell they sat down and actually thought about this, and just put as much darkness as they could into it without it being overbearing. And utilized the choir extremely well, utilized Bjorn's vocals extremely well. And also, I also liked it a little bit because it's also reminded me of a video I was watching just earlier today, actually. I was watching the second episode of A Woman Who Rock on Napalm TV, and it had Cobra from Cobra and the Lotus, one lady from Diabolus and Musica, and it had Diane, and she asked what superpower they would have, and Diane said she would like to have the ability to turn hate into love. And while I was listening to this song, it reminded me of that, because this song is really, really dark, and it really is just about hate and ignorance and selfishness. And I felt like it was really, really cool of her to just say that she would prefer to have that power. And then after listening to this song, I can definitely understand why. Of course, I could understand why before, but just listening to this song, I can definitely understand why, because, who knows what was floating around in their minds when they wrote this song, or what specific things they had seen or maybe even experienced to inspire this song. But it just kind of reminded me of that, and it was really, really cool. But this song is just extremely, extremely intense and very emotional and dark, and just very, very thought-provoking and very, very, very psychological. Like, I was really thinking about it, because, I've seen that, I've seen people that say, "Oh, yeah, I'll just have to repent later," or something like that, or, I'll be like, "How you doing?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm doing great." yeah, but didn't this just happen? It was terrible. Oh yeah, but I'm doing great. And it's almost kind of like they were in like denial of anything bad ever happening. Like you don't have to dwell on the negativity, excuse me, but you can't just deny that something negative happened. Everything can't be perfect and happy in life all the time. Like it's never been that way for anyone. So it was very, very, very awesome. I was just, because we are murderers. We all in parentheses. I was like, what in the world is this song gonna be about? But it was extremely, extremely well done, well composed. Bjorn did a great job, and they did a great job putting his vocals where they needed to be, so they weren't overdone, weren't underdone, that it came in just at the right moment to enhance just the message and the mood of everything the song was trying to convey. And I loved it. I can't wait for this album. I'm definitely going to buy it and give it a review. Excellent band, excellent symphonic metal band. But definitely go check it out. I don't think I can post a link to the video yet. It's just on blabbermouth.com right now is where I saw it at. But I'll post a link to the article. But excellent song. Definitely go check it out. Definitely let me know what you think. Earlier, I reviewed the music video for Time Stand Still by Unleashed Archer, so there's a link in the description for that. So go check that out as well. If you guys like these videos, give me a like, a comment, subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and rock on.